Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. First of all, I want to start with giving shouts out to all the phenomenal moms. I hope that you guys had a great and wonderful Mother's Day. I want to give shouts out to all the dads that are taking on mom's roles, having to do the dual role. I salute you, brothers. You guys have a hard job to handle, right? I also want to give shouts out to anyone that has lost a mom and had to endure Mother's Day. I hope that you found peace in the memories that you had of your mom. And I hope that your Mother's Day wound up being a great day despite the pain you might be experiencing. I also want to shout out, last but not least, all the moms that have lost children. I'm sure Mother's Day has been difficult just with the loss of a child. I hope that you found peace and comfort in being able to engage and interact with your other children and family members. I hope that you all had a great and prosperous and wonderful Mother's Day. However, my topic today that I'll be talking about is unhealthy nurturing parenting, right? Um, Something that I learned in a training that I was in, that I had endured, throughout my social work training. I learned a lot about children with trauma, right? A lot of children that experience trauma throughout their childhood, they tend to suppress things. So when they get grown and they're of age, they whatever it was that took place that they suppressed, it doesn't show up until they have children or they have something that they're doing that ties it back to the childhood trauma that they experienced, right? So basically, I'm going to give a synopsis of what suppression is, right? Suppression happens when you actively push something uncomfortable down, meaning some thoughts, some feelings, some memories, some conscious, something that has been on your conscious for a long period of time, right? So you automatically forcefully push it down because I'd rather push it down inside of me than for me to bring this up and to deal with it, right? So that takes us to a lot of times people, right? People or family members or people, friends that we know. You ever see people that they fix everything up on them on the outside, but the inside is burning, right? The inside of us is where we suppress things, right? I've been through that, where I've suppressed some things that I didn't want to feel. But when I got grown, right, those things that I suppressed as a child, I had to deal with them, right? And so sometimes behaviors that we display, meaning like bad habits or addictions show up, and addictions will show up if it's something that you suppress, because that addiction that you put in place, you put it in place because of what you were suppressing, right? And so if you put that addiction, right, in place behind something that you was suppressing, it would take the void away from those thoughts or those memories or those things that you didn't quite want to think about, right? And so when that happens, how do you eventually deal with the suppression, right? Suppression that we suppress from our childhood trauma or pains that we go through, we all got them, right? Even if you had the best childhood, it's some kind of childhood trauma that you had. We all got them. I don't care if you had two parents in the home, if you had one parent in the home, whatever you got, you've had some type of suppression, some type of trauma, right? And so how do you deal with it? You deal with it by, first of all, not pointing your finger at at this person that you're looking at. You deal with that person that the other three fingers is pointing back at. You got to deal with you. So you have to go internally, right? And so people always say, how do we heal? How do you heal? How do you heal? Right? How do you heal? You heal by tapping into thoughts and things that you don't want to deal with. You have to take a look inside, right? You have to learn to love you, right? You have to learn to accept you. You have to learn to do all of these things. And so in the process of doing those things, if you waited till you became an adult, it's much, much more difficult. That's why these nurturing parenting skills is going on. If you want to have better children than what you are as an adult, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to teach your children how to be. You're going to have to teach your children. You're going to have to start nurturing your children. Right? We all have needs that needs to be nurtured. Now, if you're a person that say, oh, I don't need to be nurtured, I don't need all that. I don't need all that. I don't care who you are. Everybody in the world, at some point in time, we need a hug, right? At some point in time, we need somebody to just say, I love you. Some point in time, we just need somebody to just listen to us without even saying anything. Just listen to me. You feel what I'm saying? And so if you know that you are a person that probably feel like you don't need all of that, you have suppressed the need for that because maybe you didn't experience it in your childhood, right? How do you unlearn that learned suppression behavior, right? You have to reprogram and retrain your mind to know that I deserve to be loved and I deserve to receive it in return, right? I have the desire to love, and I have the ability, or I have the desire to be loved in return, right? We all have that. If you don't have that, then you need to check yourself to find out why you don't want that. What has took place to cause you to not want that? Like we all need that. We want that, right? I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Like, hey, you need love. I want love. It's what it is, right? So I challenge you guys today that if you are a person that had some type of issue, right, that has caused you anxiety, caused you frustration, caused you to not want to deal with something, caused you to feel some type of way, perplexed, or whatever the situation is, I challenge you today to tap into that. Like, ask yourself questions. Why am I feeling that way? What has happened that caused this? Ask yourself these things, because those questions are the things that's going to help you to get to that answer that you need to tap into inside of you, right? Life can be difficult. It can be different, right? The hardest thing that I see that I've ever had to go through is healing myself from the inside out. That was a process that I would start it, I would stop it, I would start it, I would stop it, until this last time I knew I couldn't stop. Now, although you heal from some stuff, right, a healing process is a lifelong journey, right? It's not something that just happened at this moment. Now, right here at this moment of what I had going on, I probably have healed from that. Who's to say 2 or 3 years, or maybe a month or 5 months later, it's going to be another area that I need to tap into. So that cycle of growing and tapping into the inside of you, it's a constant process, right? It's not something that just happens one time and it goes away. It's consistently. It's something that you deal with all the time. You always have to strive and thrive to be a better you, right? And so with you parents and this unhealthy nurturing parenting, right? The purpose of me bringing this up and talking about this is because, again, I'm offering a class that's free for you to be able to tap into the proper strategies and process to help you maneuver and coach your child through having healthy, nurturing parenting, healthy coaching, parenting, teaching while they're in your household, right? So that you can produce better, phenomenal children. Do that make sense? Or better, phenomenal adults, right? Because the purpose of us being our kids' parent is to have better children, right? To coach our children on the things that we know they need to become phenomenal adults. So if that's the goal from parenting, right, we have to start now, right? So that they can be prepared for this lifelong journey that is going to take place. Um, I think that throughout incorporating these healthy, nurturing parenting skills, I think that it's going to help you as a parent to become a better, healthy adult, right? Because you teaching your child how to have healthy skills and abilities to tap into things that go on through their childhood is helping you too to become a better adult, right? Um, so why not take advantage of something that's going to help you and your child? You know, again, from behavior strategies, I have a behavior technique that I've incorporated for parents and children with behavior issues, right? It's not just for students or kids with ADHD. It's for kids that have a mental illness and they lash out at their parents or their peers or their siblings or what have you. It's a strategy that will help them to become better versions of themselves, learning how to process anger and frustration, learning how to think through difficult challenges or challenging times where they just want to lash out and cuss everybody out. It teaches them the process of how to process things and how to respond effectively to whatever's taking place in a calm manner, right? And so basically, um, I'm offering these classes. Please take advantage of them. Like, it's hard out here, just trying to process everything that's going on in the world and then processing um, the behaviors that your children display, especially if you have multiple children. Like, that is a difficult task. You got all these different personalities. You got all these different challenges going on. The school calling, this, that, and that. Maybe JJ ain't doing what Nene doing, but then Nene teacher calling every day, or vice versa. So take advantage of this. Like, no one is trying to tell you how to run your household, but I'm trying to help you to incorporate your children with the proper communication skills that they need to become better children, right? I won't even say better children, but more for you to be able to understand your children better. Because for me, the professional, I understand your children, that they stresses and pressures. But these tools and abilities or things that I have that incorporate or to teach you how to incorporate, it's going to help you to help your children to have a better toolbox to be able to process and talk about things that go on in their life, right? You rather your child to talk to you than to be talking to people out on the street. And unhealthy nurturing parenting, it can cause a whole lot of things for your child to go left when you want your child to go right. And to be able to talk to you, to have that open communication, open lines of communication is important in every area, right? And so with parenting, you need to incorporate this. So with that being said, check down below in the caption. I have a phone number, a website, not a website, a phone number and an email address. Tap into it. We can set some up via Zoom for free. And everything is strictly confidential, right? And I hope that I'm able to give back what I know to help you and your children. With that being said, until the next time, have a wonderful day. Peace.